Welcome, this is lesson 78 in Saxon Algebra 1 3rd edition. This lesson is about rational equations and how to solve those. And it's really very easy if you know your multiplication tables and you remember how to cross cancel. That's basically breaking it down. That's exactly what we're going to be doing. Finding the least common denominator, cross canceling, distributing, and then solving the equation. So the first thing we have to do, we have 5 over x minus 1/3 equals 1 over x. We have to find the LCD of each one of those three terms. Well, two of them have the same term, so our LCD is going to be 3x, so that each one is represented. Then we are going to multiply both sides by the LCD. We're going to multiply everything here by 3x. And then we're going to multiply this by 3x. Alright, well when I cross cancel here, I can cross cancel that x out of the way, and that just leaves me with the 3, and then if I cross cancel this 3 with that 3, that would leave me here with an x. That's where we get the 15, because 3 times 5 is 15, and x times 1 is x. And then the same thing here. The x's cross cancel out, and 3 times 1 then is 3. Then all we have to do is solve. Very, very simple. So we're going to do several of these problems together today, just so that you kind of get the hang of all of it. Here we have y over 2 plus 1/4 equals y over 6. The very first thing you must do is find the least common denominator of 2, 4, and 6. If you know your multiplication tables well, you'll know that 12 should jump right out to you. Now it's real important you want to use the least common denominator. There are other numbers that all three of these will go into, but you want to use the lowest one so you'll have it all in lowest terms. Alright, so if I'm in this one, I'm going to put the 12 in parentheses in front of each term, like I have here. Alright, and then I'm going to go ahead and cross cancel out. This 2 will go into this 12 6 times, and then 6 times y is 6y. The 4 will go into the 12 3 times, and 3 times 1 is 3. And here 6 will go into itself 1 time and into 12 2 times, and 2 times y is 2y. Now all I have left to do is move this 3 over here and this 2y over here. I get 4y equals negative 3. Divide both sides by 4, and y is negative 3/4. In this one we have three different terms with three different denominators. So we're going to have to say the least common denominator of 2, 3, and 7. And I always say you should start with the largest of the fractions of the numbers and multiply up from there. So 14, 3 won't go into 14. 7 times 3 is 21. 2 won't go into 21. 28, 3 won't go into. So you have to keep going up until you get to 42, and 42 is indeed the least common denominator. So I'm going to put it in parentheses in front of each one of these terms. Then I'm going to look at the bottom number and cross cancel out. 7 will go into itself once and into 42 6 times. Then I'm going to multiply this 6 by what I have here, which is 2x, to get 12x. Here I can cross cancel. 2 goes into itself 1 time and into 42 21 times, and 21 times 3x is 63x. And then the 3 goes into itself 1 time and into into 42 14 times, and 14 times 1 is 14. Then I combine my like terms. 63 minus 12 is 51, and it is negative, equals 14. and then divide by negative 51, and my answer is negative 14 over 51. We're going to do the same steps in this problem. We need the LCD of 2 and 7, and it would be 14. I'm going to put 14 in parentheses in front of each one. Now here, let me show you. I'm going to go ahead and put this in parentheses too. That just tells me that I'm going to need to distribute this number over both of these. Alright, so 2 will go into 14 7 times, and 7 times 3 is 21y. 7 will go into 14 2 times. 2 times 8 is 16. And 2 times negative 4y is negative 8y. And then here I have nothing on the bottom, so I'm just going to simply say 14 times 3, which is 42. Then I combine my like terms. 21 minus 8 is 13y plus 16 equals 42. From there, I'm going to subtract 16 on both sides, and I get 13y equals 26. And when I divide by 13, I see that y is equal to 2. And finally, 4, 2, and 10. The common denominator, least common denominator of all three of those is 20. Cross cancel out. The 4 becomes 1, and 20 becomes 5. And I'm going to distribute this 5 over both of these terms to get 5x plus 5 minus, I'm going to do the same thing here, 2 becomes a 1, and 20 then becomes 10, because 2 will go into 20 10 times, and 10 times 3 is 30, equals 10 will become 1, 20 will become 2, 2 distributes over 2x to become 4x, and over negative 9 to become negative 18. Then I've got some like terms right here I need to combine. 5x minus 25 equals 4x minus 18. Now I'm going to move the 25 over here and the 4x over here. And when I do that and subtract, I see that x is equal to 7. Okay, let's go ahead and we have 2 practice problems. Let's go ahead and work those. Alright, I've already found the least common denominator for you, 4, 3, and 2. The least number that all 3 will go into is 12. So let's just put a 12 here in parentheses beside of z over 4 minus a 12 in parentheses here, 1 over 3 equals, and another 12 in parentheses, z over 2. Let's cross cancel. 4 becomes 1, 12 becomes 3, and 3 times z is 3z, minus 3 becomes 1, 12 becomes 4, 4 times 1 is 4, 2 becomes 1, 12 becomes 6, and 6 times 2 is 12. Now I'm going to move the 4 to the other side, and I'm going to see that 3z is now equal to 16. And if I divide by 3, I'm so sorry, I misread this z as a 2. So let's go in here and do some erasing. Right here, I need to make my things clearer, don't I? Let's see, let's just go ahead and erase all of this. And go back and put in what it should be. 6 times z is 6z. And we're going to add 4. I need to erase that because I've got it under the 6, and that won't do. I'll put it over here, my plus 4. And I'm going to subtract 6z from both sides. Now I've eliminated this, and 3z minus 6z is negative 3z equals 4. And when I divide by negative 3, I see that z is equal to negative 4/3. Okay, one more. Again, in this one, 3, 8, and 2, I went up by 8, 16, 24, till I found one that all three would go into, and that was 24. So let's put a 24 in parentheses, and let's put this y plus 2 in parentheses as well. Divided by 3 minus, I'm going to put 24 in parentheses here, times the 5 over 2, equals, and one more time, 24 in parentheses, and I'm going to put 2y minus 4 also in parentheses over 8. Now I'm going to cross cancel. That becomes a 1. That becomes an 8. And 8 will distribute over both of these terms. 8y plus 16. That becomes a 1. That becomes a 12. And 12 times 5 is 60. That becomes a 1. This becomes a 3. 3 times 2y is 6y. And 3 times negative 4 is negative 12. Here I've got some like terms on this side I need to combine. So 8y minus 44, I believe. 60 minus, 44 equals 6y minus 12. If I add 44 on both sides, and if I subtract 6y from both sides, I'm going to see that 2y is equal to 32. Divide by 2. That looks like a z, doesn't it? So I see that y is equal to 16. Good job. I'll see you back next time for lesson 79.